Hey, my name's Jeff Morgan. I'm with Dad Talk Today. I'm here with Lann Murphy.
Correct.
And I'm out in Palo, Pinto County. We just saw, well, let me just say this, because in the past I have strongly criticized Judge Michael Moore. Today, I think that it's only right for me to give him kudos for what he did.
Absolutely.
I disagreed with what he said the last time. I found a lot of problems with it. But today, he was on top of things, and he was upset. He was upset with the Attorney General, in particular, the whole office. What was your impressions about what took place today?
Well, basically, Mr. Johnson's wife had a bank account prior to marriage, and the AG decided to seize her bank account. And
why would the AG do that if that was her money? Why would the AG try to seize her bank account?
I don't know. They claimed it was community property, and they actually had a premarital agreement that they had, I think, instructed the AG that thought this was not community property.
Right.
And then they never asked for any proof or evidence or anything. And I believe it was hung up for, what was it, 2 to 3 years?
Over 2 years, yeah. There was an account here that the AG was going after to try to collect money from Brandon Johnson.
Yes.
But they were trying to collect not his money, but his wife's money.
Yes.
And I understand what took place here, because he was put on there simply in case anything happened to her.
Right.
That somebody could make sure that
the children
got taken care of, instead of the ex coming in and just spending the money on himself.
Correct.
And then sticking everybody else with the bills. So Mr. Johnson contributed no money to this account.
Correct.
There was a premarital agreement in place. And then there was also a post-marital agreement in place.
Yes.
And it was designed specifically so that he could so that money would make sure to get to her children.
Yes.
Her children. And yet the AG went after that money, and this has been tied up for 2 years. Now there was I missed the first part of it, so I did not get the people who were representing the AG, but there was an Amy somebody. Do you know her name?
I do not recall her name.
And there was another lady too. I thought her last name was Bridges.
Bridges was the attorney, correct.
Bridges was the attorney, and I'm not sure who Amy was exactly, so I missed the first few minutes of it. But it was very, very interesting, because Judge Moore, and again, I'm going to give him all props and all kudos here, he went after the AG and the attorneys, the snakes that they are, said, you have had 2 years to put forth this case. You have no facts. You did no discovery. And they just thought they were going to waltz right in here and take that money and act like they were the owners of the court. They did a horrible, horrible job. But I think the principle we need to look at here is that both in our state constitution and also in the federal constitution, it says that the state shall do nothing to impair the obligation of contracts. And the premarital and the postmarital both were a private contract.
Correct.
Between Mr. and Mrs. Johnson.
That's absolutely.
So the state had no ability to put a lien on this money for over 2 years. I almost think, I mean, what are your thoughts about this? Because I think in light of their egregious action against them, I think that they should actually be forced to pay something for the pain and suffering.
I believe, I mean, to have the money tied up to where they can't use it for 2 years is quite a hardship.
It is quite a hardship.
You know, if an emergency arose, you know, a medical emergency that they needed the money, it could have been an extremely sad situation.
Right, it very well could have been. But I think the other thing that we talk about a lot is the harassment.
Yes.
Because the AG thinks that, we've been given the Office of the Attorney General, we've been given this responsibility to collect child support. Well, actually, in many instances, it is to extort child support.
And I found the tone that she took towards the judge appalling. And the judge even had to get on to her about who would be finding the facts worthy in the case.
Right.
She even wanted to assert herself above the judge.
Right.
And that didn't last very long.
Right.
But
no, it did not last very long at all. But what really shocked me about the attorney that was representing the Office of the Attorney General is that, and look, I know Mrs. Johnson. She is a woman of integrity. She is a woman of faith. She's a godly woman. And she had the audacity to tell that judge that she thought Mrs. Johnson was lying with no evidence, nothing.
She did. She absolutely did.
That was a smear job.
Yes, it was.
Absolutely. And I think that, again, this is my opinion on the whole thing. I think that we need to have legislators look at this and say, when you do this, you are harassing the people that we represent. You're harassing the citizens of Texas, and you need to pay. Now, in a case like this attorney right here, I almost would like to see her somehow be reprimanded because of what she did.
Absolutely, she should be.
Right. So any other further comments about this other than the fact that we want to, again, oh, here she is right over there. She's taking off right now. I don't know if we want to get her in on the camera or not. Maybe we should try it. I don't know if she's coming this direction, but she's going to try to look at a case and brief the judge tomorrow about a case that took place. The judge said the law is clear. Case law is clear. This is a matter of law, and they had no facts.
No facts at all.
So it's going to be interesting to see what happens. But let me see. Maybe I should get maybe I should go and get a comment from her.
Yeah.
Ma'am, do you have any comments about that case that just took place there?
No, judge made his ruling, and we're going to abide by that.
Okay, as far as the Attorney General is concerned, though, I mean, what are your thoughts about that? Because that seems to be harassment to actually tie up these monies for 2 years. And then when you mentioned that she would be a liar, that you thought she was lying. Anyway, thank you so much. I guess we're going to end the interview right there then, but I just wanted to make sure that we got the stuff on record. Once again, as far as we're concerned, we think Judge Moore did an outstanding job. We haven't always thought that, but in this case, we must give credit to where credit is due. Judge Moore, we want to thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Judge Moore. You did a good job.
You did a very good job, and we look forward to hearing this thing, the resolution of this tomorrow after the attorney for the Office of the Attorney General, who will probably try some sneaky interpretation of a law, of a case law or something, that completely violates the Constitution. So we'll see what happens then tomorrow, but I feel pretty confident that the judge is going to toss this out. And I almost think that if he had the ability to, he would toss them out on their ear as well.
It sure appeared that way.
Anyway, well, thank you, Judge Moore, and thanks for Lann for the short interview here.
Absolutely.
And for whoever that was, her last name was Bridges. We'll get that out there as well, but guess that's it. Talk with you later on. Thanks so much. Thanks, Lann.
Thank you.